Here we go. We're going 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, welcome back to the Upper Left Pod, episode 4. We are going to be talking today on episode 4. We're going to be talking our rookie quarterbacks debuts, their opening, or what our thoughts on the opening of preseason, the Pac-12, ACC, Big Ten Alliance, our top 25 college football
Alliance?
Oh no, the top 25, just our thoughts in general, and then we're gonna close out today with our top uniforms of all time. We're going to go any team of any. It can be high school, college, pro, any uniform you can think of. Our favorite uniforms of all time. So that's what we're gonna do today, guys. Once again, our podcast is brought to you by Acc PUD. Thank you to Acc PUD for sponsoring our podcast.
Take control of your account and make interacting with Acc PUD easy with SmartHub. Through SmartHub, you'll be able to view detailed usage information, make a payment, enroll in programs, set account notifications, and much more. You'll also receive important news and information about Acc PUD and can quickly contact us with any issues regarding your service. You'll be able to put yourself in the driver's seat of your Acc PUD account. Smart management, smart life, SmartHub.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Upper Left Pod. Jordan, how we doing?
Good. How are you? How you been?
I've been pretty good. I had a good weekend. I thought I'm going to do real quick a best and worst of the weekend real quick, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so my best of the weekend was the fact that football is officially back.
Yes, finally.
Officially back with preseason. I know we had a little bit of Hard Knocks last episode. Hard Knocks is kind of like you see the fall, you see everything changing colors. It's like the changing of the season. Like you see it coming with Hard Knocks. But then when you get the official, like actual games, I don't count the Hall of Fame game because that's just there for the Hall of Fame. But when you get
it's not a real football game.
No, when you get like 9 games on random Saturdays and Sundays of teams that you're just like, okay, I'm gonna go watch the Lions Bills play with terrible team, with terrible players. I'm gonna sit down and watch a full Lions preseason game. I know I'm all in, and it's football season, and I am so excited. What about you?
Well, I watched the Seahawks play, and I don't think they played like anyone. It was pretty much like Blazers Summer League. Like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, there was no one for them to see. Like, there was no one.
I mean, I watched a little Daryl Taylor, but I was just like, and then I hate these people like, oh, they don't look good. I'm like, it's hard to play defense when you're like the only like starting level player out there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, because when you that's the big thing. Everyone's like, oh, they're not playing that hard. No, they're not playing really well. Well, the one thing is when you have really good players in the NFL and you're playing with really crappy players, you kind of get exposed because you don't have anybody covering your back if something goes wrong. So these guys don't know what's going on. So that's why you don't see vets playing. Like Sean McVay just flat out said Matt Stafford is not playing in a is not playing. And like, well, you won't see Matt Stafford, you won't see Ben Roethlisberger, you won't see any of these guys. Usually where you'd have the what they call the walkthrough or the script of like what they're going to do. The practice game. You're not going to see this year with only 3 games, which by the way,
I think you will a little bit. I think like
so?
The Seahawks will do it because they have a new offensive coordinator. I think teams like that will, but
okay.
Like if you're like, is Tampa going to play Tom at all?
No, Tom Brady is not. No.
I think he played like a series.
Yeah, I think he played a series. Like it was funny.
I didn't watch every preseason game. I'm sorry, guys.
No, I didn't watch. I watched the Lions and the Bills play, and then I watched a little bit of the Seahawks game when they played the.
Yeah,
that's all
I watched. I watched the Seahawks and and then I watched a lot of the Bears. Actually, I want to see Fields.
Oh, I didn't watch the Bears.
Good.
But I did watch his highlights, and he looked really good. The other thing I love too is when you get the joint practices and you get the giant fights. We haven't had one yet, but it's going to be coming. You know, it's coming here pretty soon. There's going to be a giant fight where you have joint practices, which if you guys don't know, NFL teams will travel to go practice each other, and then they'll play the preseason. It's like a full week of this, and at some point they're going to just fight, and I just can't wait to see a fight. But that's going to be a perfect segue. Oh, my least favorite thing of the weekend was the Heat So here it got above 100 twice. And in my house, we don't have air conditioning.
You don't have air conditioning?
No, you've been in my house. It's very old. And we have, so we had to get air conditioning. My wife said, she's like, we have to get it because if it's over 100.
You have. Andrew, I will never not have air conditioning again.
Okay. There's a few things you said there's a few things you said that you can have. You said that you will always have a good bed. You'll have air conditioning. What else did you say?
Yes.
Air conditioning, a good bed, and what else? Comfortable shoes?
I don't know, but if I don't have those 3 things in my life, I always have nice shoes. But paying for a bed is the best decision. You spend a third of your life sleeping, so you should own a nice bed. And air conditioning, I'm not going back.
I'm not going back.
Growing up with no AC, living in the top floor,
you have no idea.
You're just sweating all night. I'm never gonna do that. In the Air Force, being in Kuwait and Turkey, where it's too hot. There is AC, but it still doesn't work that great, and I'm never gonna do that again.
Yeah, in our house,
you should buy AC. Just get a window unit. Those window units, if you just got one and put them in your room, and
we can't. We don't have those.
Girls got them like those.
We can't do that. We don't have those type of windows. We don't have those type of windows. We can't do that.
Then you have to get the ones you put on the wall though.
We've thought about it. We're thinking we are going to get it. No, so growing up in our house and where we grew up, our house was either extremely cold or extremely hot. There was no in between. And
it was never cold. They had a fire going nonstop. Even if it got dropped. That house is so hot. It's so hot. Turn the heat down. Put a jacket on.
It's pretty crazy. It was in the summertime, you would be sitting upstairs where Jordan and I, our bedrooms were upstairs. You'd be sitting in the bed. You'd be sitting in we had a little kind of gaming room. You'd be sitting in there with your shirt off, shorts on, and just sweating profusely as you played video games because there was nothing else to do.
At 10 at night.
At 10 at night. It was just extremely hot, and it was just a waste of. It's the worst. And now that we were both gone, they gave our sister. She has an air conditioning unit upstairs, and they have an air conditioning unit downstairs. And my dad thought it'd be the coolest thing ever. He would just turn all the fans. We'd literally have fans blowing hot air through the house. He'd put a fan in a window, and another fan in another room window. So, one room, door open, hallway, another window, door open, and he would just blow hot air through the house. He's like, "Oh, it's gonna cool you down." I'm like, "Dad, this isn't working." And he thought that was the coolest thing ever. The thing too, remember this? How he would in the car, he would be cold air molecules sink. So he would turn the air on, but then he'd point the air conditioning unit. He'd point the air units up, so it would never blow into you. They'd just blow up, and he thought that they would just circulate down and come through the car. It never worked. It was always extremely hot in the cars. And we would drive to Montana every summer, and we're like, "Dad, it's hot here. I have the air on." No, you have the air pointing straight up in the air, and it's not going anywhere. He's gonna listen to this.
Yeah,
he did that.
Yeah, and the AC with the window open. I used to be a diesel mechanic, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the AC on doesn't suck your gas mileage. That's there's always the way your AC works is there's a pulley spinning at all times, and all you do when you turn your AC on is engage a clutch that spins the internal part of that part. So at all times you're using that pulley. So you're always using the resistance of the pulley. So no matter what, if you turn your AC on, you're not taking gas mileage away. That's just not true. So don't think it is, people.
I think not only.
And I think Mythbusters did it.
They did. They proved that they did absolutely nothing. So people saying that doesn't do anything. It's that's the dumbest thing. I hate when people have their air conditioning on and their window open. You're defeating the purpose of air conditioning.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but
I think too, here in the Northwest, it doesn't get that hot that often, but when it does, it's the worst. And so even having air conditioning just for that little amount of time would be huge.
Restaurants in downtown Vancouver, those old buildings don't have AC, and they were all shutting down.
Really?
Kelly and I were downtown last Wednesday. Yeah, last Wednesday when it got to 102, and we were going to go to a happy hour at a bar, and it was closed because it was too hot. because they're. Can you imagine working as a cook and it's like 110 out and you have no AC? I mean, in California, all those places have AC when it gets that hot. Like that was the problem with Portland and Seattle. Only like 50% of houses have AC.
Yeah, we need it. Like AC is needed. I think AC, we can both agree right now. AC, you need it in the house. Like if you don't have it, you miss it. It's a must have.
And I know people are like, oh, I don't have that much money. I'm like, dude, you don't have $300 to get like an AC unit and run it for like 2 hours a day, or like when you sleep at least in your room.
And especially now with you're not able, like usually you would beat the heat by like going to movie theaters. Now it's like, do you really want to go to movie theater now? Like movies are okay. So quick transition. Okay, so that was our best and worst of the weekend. Our best was football being back, and our worst is not having AC, and the heat in general has just been it's just been terrible. Okay.
But it does look like it's cooling down. So
it does look like it's cooling down. And football, by the way, so I do coach football. We got football coming up here tomorrow. Football starts tomorrow. It's like 77 perfect degrees to start football.
Yeah.
I hated
it's supposed to be like, I hated it when it was like,
it's the worst. Like even when you're like, it's the worst, especially even when you're just in straight helmets, shorts, and jerseys, which we'll be in, it still sucks. Wearing that helmet just sucks. And then playing in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, the practice pants we had were freaking cotton, and they were just, you would just die. You would die. It was no fun. I mean, we talk of when we used to play, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Our team, I don't know if you knew, we were the team that were like, hey, we're not wearing practice pants. Give us the girl. We're just putting shorts on.
Yeah,
we'll buy knee pads if you want.
That's the thing.
We didn't even wear knee pads. Some people, we would just wear thigh pads, and because we wouldn't go super hard in practice.
No, we
back in my day,
I'm trying really hard to get the head coach right, coach. I'm trying to get him really hard to switch to the shorts and the girdle. And I know a few coaches that don't even do the knee pads because they don't tackle to the ground ever. But they can make it an option. So like that's to me, that's the best way of doing it, because it makes it, to me, it's just better for the kids too. All right. So we're going to transition to our first topic real quickly, guys. Once again, give a shout out to Cowboys PUD for everything they do for us. Cowboys PUD, thank you for sponsoring our podcast.
Take control of your account and make interacting with Cowboys PUD easy with SmartHub. Through SmartHub, you'll be able to view detailed usage information, make a payment, enroll in programs, set account notifications, and much more. You'll also receive important news and information about Cowboys PUD and can quickly contact us with any issues regarding your service. You'll be able to put yourself in the driver's seat of your Cowboys PUD account. Smart management, smart life, SmartHub.
All right. Thank you, Cowboys PUD, for sponsoring this podcast. All right. Our first thing we're going to talk about today, Jordan, is where you kind of mentioned it a little bit. We're going to talk about our rookie quarterbacks that we saw make their debuts, and then also just the preseason in general, what we thought. I'm going to start off with rookie quarterbacks. So I have a stat right here. Let me go and pull this up. This is from The Athletic, guys. This is what I got from The Athletic. So Mac Jones, Patriots, went 13 of 19, 87 yards and no touchdowns. Justin Fields went 14 of 20, 170 yards, 2 TDs. Trevor Lawrence went 6 of 9, 71 yards, no touchdowns. Zach Wilson, 6 of 9, 63 yards, no touchdowns. Trey Lance, 5 of 14, 128 yards, 1 touchdown. And Jordan Love, who's not a rookie but didn't play at all last year.
He's kind of a rookie.
12 of 17, 122 yards, and 1 touchdown. So I wouldn't say rookie, but I'd say younger quarterback. Yeah, these quarterbacks are coming up pretty soon. They looked really good. I thought Justin Fields obviously was the best out of all of them. At one point, I think he completed 12 straight passes. I was not impressed with Trey Lance of the Niners. He did not. He had the 80-yard bomb, but
that was, if you look at the coverage, the guy took the bad angle and that looked like a duck he threw. It didn't have a spiral.
Well, here's the thing.
And then he had
a spiral. Peyton Manning didn't throw a spiral for like 7 years.
Yeah, but that was at the end. He did it first.
Yeah, there's no stat for spiral though. As long as it gets there, it's good.
All right. Okay. True. But the guy took a bad angle at it.
He did.
But and he was a little inconsistent. He did have 3 drops though, but then also 2 drops by the defense, and he had a fumble, strip sack fumble, but he recovered it. But still, he took, I think, 4 sacks, which is him holding on the ball too long. But he also hasn't played in 2 years?
Yeah, he played He played one
And
game.
he played at North Dakota State. Yeah,
Yeah.
he played one game just for him, basically.
Yeah, just for him, and he didn't look very good in that one game. I also Trevor Lawrence to get a strip sack as well, but then after he took that hit, he kind of looked pretty good. He made some good throws. Mac Jones looked really good for the Patriots.
He looked like he could get in and out. You know, he can do all the stuff.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, Cam Newton doesn't look that good.
Cam Newton's shoulder is just
it's gone.
It's gone, man. Everyone's like, "Oh, Cam Newton." Dude, Cam Newton was good 2015 when they won the MVP and he went to the Super Bowl. He was really good then. And then he just kept getting hurt. And if his shoulder was still healthy, I would say like they have a shot of like really making a run of this thing because their defense is going to be good. Their offensive weapons are now there, and Bill Belichick just does good things. But I hate saying it. I think the Cam Newton is on his way out, which sucks.
He's gonna start, but Mac will take over shortly.
Mac will take over. I think this will be Cam Newton's final year, and if they're not doing very well, they'll pull the trigger. But if they're winning games, they'll keep him in there. This is going to be like his last ride. I like Mac Jones, and I think too is like with Bill Belichick, he's not going to take a quarterback unless we know unless the coach, who's Nick Saban, his coach at college, said, "Hey, dude, if you draft this guy, he can run your offense now," and he could run this offense now. He's a little bit more athletic than people are going to give him credit for. I'm not a fan of his deep ball. I don't think he thought it was a great deep ball, but his intermediate passes is what the Patriots do. He looked good. I think he's going to be a solid. It might be a couple years, but he'll be solid. Yeah. I'm going to get Justin Fields at the end.
Yeah. You know who was surprising? Zach Wilson actually looked pretty good.
I know we were both bashing the Jets episode, and we thought
I'm still sticking by. I don't know. That was still preseason against the Giants. So let's just he's not
against the Giants second team. It was against the first team, Giants second team. We'll see if he does.
Take all this with a grain of salt. It is preseason, and it's the first game of preseason too. And it seems like a lot of coaches didn't play a lot of people, but
no,
and they don't. And also another thing that's not talked about is they're like not running complicated schemes usually because they don't want to give anything away. I mean, you'll see if they run if a team again the Seahawks, if you run with a corner blitz, that usually fools the offense because they're not ready for it yet. And that's how every football season usually starts. The defense is a little ahead because defensive plays are easier to learn than offensive plays, and offense takes a little more cohesion than running a defense. So it just usually ends up being that the defense looks a little better, but they're also running simpler stuff too to see a better evaluation for the coaches also.
Yeah, checking the sample size. Checking the sample size, what they can do. I really did.
Yeah.
Out of all the quarterbacks that impressed me the most, Zach Wilson was what I would say was number 2. Obviously for me, Justin Fields was 1. But
Zach Wilson's number 2 because he was so low, though.
Yeah, because where he came from BYU and also our take of we thought it was going to be garbage, he didn't look bad. The Jets' offensive line was better than I thought it was going to be. Their receivers are.
Corey David looks.
He does. Corey Davis looks pretty good. I think he needed that. He needed that change out of Tennessee and coming here, going to the Jets. I think he's gonna. We'll see if he can improve. But Zach Wilson did impress me. Trey Lance did not impress me. Did not. Once again, you said he had 3 drops, but he also should have thrown 2, maybe 3 picks that were just flat out drops.
Yeah.
Trey Lance, but once again, they also have Jimmy G, so we can't be freaking out.
Yeah.
He didn't look good, but you know what?
Jimmy G's going to play this year.
He's going to play, and that'll be good for him.
I think he's going to play the whole year.
I think so too. I think it's going to be a thing where they get Trey Lance ready, get him to know the offense, and then in the next offseason, they trade Jimmy G away. That's what I see doing because I think Trey Lance needs some more time. He's not ready. You never know. Something could happen to Jimmy G where he can't throw a deep ball, but we'll see what happens here. And then Jordan Love, for how much crap we gave the Packers for trading up to get him, he had a very good preseason game. He looked good.
He looked decent. He looked like he can play football. It didn't look bad at all. It looked really good. I mean, I don't know why everyone gets on the Packers about quarterbacks. They took Brett Favre, made him good. They took Aaron Rodgers, made him good. They took Matt Flynn and got him paid. He ain't anything outside of that.
Speaking of Matt Flynn,
he played 3 games and got paid.
Did they cut him that year?
No, the Seahawks. He was a free agent, and then the Seahawks paid him, and that's the year they got Russell Wilson.
No. They did no. That year that they got
cut Matt Flynn.
They didn't cut Matt Flynn once they got Russell Wilson, or they did.
They did after they knew that Russell Wilson was going to be their starter.
Okay. And so Jordan Love looked good, but let's get to who our favorite rookie quarterback, who we both thought was going to be good.
Yes.
Justin Fields looked like the real deal.
He looks good. He looks really, really good. He can move.
Dude, there was a play. He also ran the ball twice for 33 yards. There's a play that in that run, the second run, a linebacker's chasing him, and you're just like, dude, that linebacker's not catching Justin Fields. He's faster than I thought. He's faster than I thought he was going to be. His accuracy is good. He threw a great ball to Jesse James who ran that little wheel route from the back he ran from the right side.
Always open. If you run a throwback, it's always open.
Guys, trust me, high school it's always open too. But you can only run it like twice a game though. You usually run it once a game. You get the first time, unless it's a really bad team, you can get it twice. But like if you're playing a good team, they kind of like know it, but you can have to like kind of get them off.
You have to set it up.
Set it up. But he looked good. Like there wasn't a throw that made me think, dude, that was a bad throw. He made good throws, good decisions. The Bears, let's do a quick game of over under. How many games until Justin Fields starts for the Bears? Over under. What do you think it's going to be?
1.
I'm going to say 3. I think third week.
If they don't start in week 1, what are they doing? They just want to lose. They're just like, hey, let's take our best opportunity to lose. Why don't they try and win? Oh, we're scared of Aaron Donald because that's what they play week 1, Rams and Sunday Night Football. He's going to have to play Aaron Donald. He's going to have to play defensive players. I hate when they're like, oh, we can't play him against this really good defense. Do you want to win? You got to see if you have something here. Just put him in the game.
I'm just going off.
Don't be scared. Andy Dalton. What are we going to get from Andy Dalton? Like,
you're going to get the Red Rocket. What you're going to get. You're going to get a guy that's going to be nice and stable and easy going.
You're not going to be stable. You're going to lose. And your team's going to be mad that you're not trying to win. If I was on that team and they put in Andy Dalton, I would just be like, why am I trying?
That's a good point. That happens a lot. The other thing too is like we both said this the other day. We both said it in our NFC picks. We were worried that the Bears picked Justin Fields because they never pick good quarterbacks. Yeah. I think they finally got it right. I think they have a guy. I love Justin Fields. I liked him at Georgia. I liked him at Ohio State. I'm liking him with the Bears, and I'm a Lions fan. I like watching it. I'm gonna be happy I get to watch him twice. He's gonna torch my Lions though. But he looked the real out of all the quarterbacks. He looked the most ready. But also, I think he also got drafted to the best team.
The Niners is probably the Niners should.
Oh, yes, right. Yeah, the Niners are the best team, but the Bears aren't. The Bears aren't bad. Mac Jones.
I mean, they're not bad. Well, technically, the Bears were in the playoffs last year.
The Patriots aren't good. They're on their way. They're trying to come back from the COVID season. The Bears were in the playoffs last year. The Trevor Lawrence and that Jags team is bad. Zach Wilson, the Jets, they're bad.
Bad.
Trey Lance and the Niners, that team is a playoff team, but I think it's going to be Jimmy G this year. And then Jordan Love and the Packers. I mean, that team's a Super Bowl team, but he's not playing. There's no even chance of even saying Jordan Love's is he ever going to push Aaron Rodgers? No. So, but like the rookie quarterbacks, I think out of the best has the best situation. I think is Justin Fields over Trey Lance, even though Trey Lance is on the Niners. I think the best overall fit for the team and the best look right now is the Bears and Justin Fields. I really like it.
Yeah, it looks really good. I think he's a really good fit. I think it was a mistake not drafting him higher.
Yeah.
I wouldn't draft him over Trevor Lawrence, but
no.
I wouldn't have drafted Trey Lance over Justin Fields. Okay, Niners.
I don't know what's going on. And the Bears had to trade up to get him. The Bears traded up to get him.
Yeah.
Good for the Bears. All right. So then, Jordan, you had to take here too. I am not a fan of this, but you are a fan. I am not a fan of this new thing that's happening in the NFL. I don't like it. Maybe it's just me being old curmudgeon, 36-year-old old curmudgeon. I did not like the number changes in the NFL. I don't like it.
So you don't like college football?
It's different.
It's not different. It's just football. Why does the numbers matter? I wish they would expand it more. I wish you could wear like the number pi on your uniform, like
that's too much.
Symbol.
Okay.
Why? Maybe that's a number.
Maybe I'll say this. Maybe I'm just because I'm not used to it yet. Maybe that's why I'm not liking it yet. But
you watched college football your whole life.
I know. It was just
so
weird.
in college football, you're just like, I don't know what's going on here.
No, I'm just saying it was really weird seeing like Micah Parsons wearing 11, and then Mike Ford for the Lions is wearing 2 at safety. Maybe I'm just not ready. I'm not used to it. I've been so ingrained of like you have these numbers you have to wear.
I love it.
Give me a couple weeks. I'll come back. I'll give you a report in a couple weeks. I'm not
all right. You don't need a couple weeks. It's fine. It's just college football. It's the same. I hate the rules. I think linemen should be able to wear whatever they want. They're huge.
They need to do that. They need to know
that. They should just wear like a special helmet then.
They do have special helmets for linemen.
Yeah. Yeah. But I like the numbers. But I don't know what I don't like.
Hang on, let me guess. The taunting rule?
I hate the taunting rule. If you taunt it, I love it. That made Miami back in the day so awesome. Was they could taunt and get away with it.
How about this one? How about this one, Jordan?
Yeah. You can't do that. That's why they left. You can't do that.
Okay. First of all, if you think Texas, if you think you're not getting the horns down, if you hit the horns down in the Big 12, bro, once you get to the SEC, it's going to be everywhere.
Yeah. And I don't think they're going to change the rules for that for Texas.
Do you think the SEC cares what Texas wants?
No, they don't. Well, kind of, but not really. But yeah, I like the number rules. Also, another thing I was thinking is preseason, you should only be allowed 1 punt per half. So you have to go for it on 4th down. We need more action. These games stop punting. I don't want to see 20 punts a game. You get 1 punt per quarter. You get a punt per quarter. And other than that, you have to go for it.
So you're on your 15-yard line and you're like, you know what? We used our 1 punt. Crap. We have to go for it. Well, you get more scoring. But then, Jordan, then that screws over your over-unders and stuff like that when it comes to betting.
That's the part of the betting. You know the rules before, then that's the part of betting. And then but then think about this. Then the other team gets to work on like their goal line situation more often. Teams would get to work on their.
So maybe we should set up like high school scrimmages where you get the ball on the floor.
Yeah, like
you just go.
Yeah, and get like 15 plays.
You get 15 plays.
And then they have like 4 NFL teams circle through on an afternoon.
Yeah. 4 teams come to one field. You guys are you're on
cut in half.
You're on this sideline. You guys are cheering for each other, and then we're gonna go 15 plays, and we're gonna switch it, and then you just get. That would be hilarious. Hang on, give me.
You'd get like 45 to 60 plays. You know.
Go ahead and talk. I gotta plug my computer, and it's about to die.
Yeah, but I just think that's some other. I was trying to think of some other rules I would like to change for preseason, because this is also when they should also like have to like try out different rules. You know, like they should do
this, don't they?
I think in spring training or in like their lower divisions, they try it out like pitch clocks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they should try out like the instead of the onside rule, like the you got to get like 20, 30 yards or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
What's that? 15 yards, I think.
It's the same thing. It's just now
I want that your rule. What?
I don't know the rule. I wish I knew. I think it's like
there was a rule. It was
we're losing Jordan. His internet's not doing well. Jordan, your internet's not doing too well.
No.
All right, you're back.
It's not.
You're glitching all over the place.
Okay. Yeah, you know, like. All right.
Oh, we're going off the rails right now, guys.
But yeah.
Okay, so Jordan.
All right, or what?
You're doing.
Want me to sign back in?
No, you're signed in. It's just. I don't know.
Yeah, you want me to re-sign in and maybe try?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and sign. He's going to come back. Jordan's coming right back, so I'll go ahead and take it. So we'll take a quick break right here, guys. Give a shout out to Cowboys PUD. Thank you, Cowboys PUD, for sponsoring this episode.
Take control of your account and make interacting with Cowboys PUD easy with SmartHub. Through SmartHub, you'll be able to view detailed usage information, make a payment, enroll in programs, set account notifications, and much more. You'll also receive important news and information about Cowboys PUD and can quickly contact us with any issues regarding your service. You'll be able to put yourself in the driver's seat of your Cowboys PUD account. Smart management, smart life, SmartHub.
All right, thank you to Cowboys PUD for sponsoring this episode. Jordan is back.
Hey guys, sorry about the internet. Government's trying to take me down for my hot takes is what they're doing.
That's what they're doing. I will say this.
The NFL. They don't like what's going on up here.
Can you, by the way, what's your hat? What's that logo?
Dame Dollar, baby.
Oh, Dame Dollar. Okay,
He's got an album coming out. Dame, shout out.
Maybe we can get Dame on the podcast, talk about his upcoming album. Not basketball.
Yeah, Dame, if you want to come to my wedding, just hit me up.
That's right. Jordan is getting married in end of August, right? Yeah, August 28th.
Like 10 days, yeah.
Look at that. See, the good brother knows when his brother's getting married. August 28th.
11 days.
11 days. All right. Good segue into our next topic, guys. Our next topic, we are going to be talking the ACC, Pac-12, and Big 12 alliance. So the reason why this is happening is Texas and Oklahoma are now hang on. Texas and Oklahoma are now joining the SEC. It says in 2025, but it's happening next year. Like they're not going to stay in the Big 12. They're gone. And so the ACC, Big 10, and Pac-12 had to do something. And so what they're doing is they're going to form an alliance. Basically, what they're going to be doing is drawing a circle around the South and saying, guess what? We're not going to schedule you guys. We're going to schedule each other. To me, I think this is a big, giant FU to the SEC, but I also think had to be done because the perception of the Big 10 in the SEC, I would say, are very close and very similar when it comes to the football and how much people like them. If you told me you guys can get the SEC or you guys can get Ohio State and Michigan, I'm taking Ohio State, Michigan, because you get a lot more from that. So Jordan, what do you think what is your thoughts on the ACC, Pac-12, and Big 10 forming this giant alliance? What do you think?
It's interesting to me. Like the Big 10 is the second best league. We can all say that.
Yes.
And now the Pac-12 is the third best. You can argue with me. If the ACC didn't have Clemson, they would be the worst conference ever.
I agree with you on that.
Probably worse than the 8 teams in the Big 12 right now. But yeah, it also, this too would basically stop Notre Dame from scheduling teams in the SEC because they play 5 games against the ACC right now.
Yes.
They play Stanford and USC every year.
That's 7.
And then they have to play Navy for like
8.
the next 10 years. And then they play I think they are scheduled against Michigan.
Yeah.
And then I think they have another like games they always play too.
Yeah, there's some other games they always play. Yeah.
So that basically eliminates Notre Dame from going to the SEC. And that's kind of a big thing. I think if this alliance happens too, they should force Notre Dame to be in a league. I
think if that were to happen, I think they would force Notre Dame because Notre Dame is already in the ACC when it comes to basketball. So I think they would force Notre Dame to join the ACC. And that also would not surprise me too if they also grab West Virginia into the ACC because the Big 12 is gone. So I mean, it makes sense for West Virginia just geographically to either join the Big 10 or the ACC. I can see them going ACC because of it doesn't matter. Basketball, ACC, Big 10 are both really good basketball conferences, so it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah,
to me, like I mentioned earlier, this is just the Pac-12, ACC, and Big 10 drawn a border around the SEC.
Basically saying, and it makes it have an advantage for like voting for like football.
It does.
How they're going to change it. So they would have like 41 votes to 16 votes.
Yeah.
Basically. So,
and you're getting also
do whatever they want.
With the ACC, you also get Florida. You get Florida State, you get Miami. You get those 2 big conferences. If those two teams can find their way back to where they were before in prominence of like being one of the top 10 teams always in the nation, you now have Florida State, Miami, Clemson, Ohio State, Michigan. You still have you're bringing Nebraska. You also get in that alliance. You also
Nebraska. Who cares?
No. But you're talking about Nebraska as a football. Like you just get them in part of like.
Yeah, who cares? Nebraska.
But you also get this alliance too. You're also now getting Arizona, which is now the 4th biggest city in America. Okay, you have
Arizona is the
4th. Phoenix. Phoenix is the 4th largest city in America now.
I don't think so.
You're getting all. Yes, it is.
Houston's bigger than that.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it goes.
I'm looking it up.
New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston. Houston's a huge metro area. Unless you're just talking about like the population of the actual city of Phoenix.
Phoenix is the 4th.
Yeah, maybe the city of Phoenix, but not like the surrounding area of Phoenix.
Yes, well, that's what it says right here. The biggest cities are New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Phoenix.
Okay? Yeah, the city of Phoenix.
Well,
not the surrounding area.
Okay, but still, you get those. They're going to draw a circle around the SEC. The SEC is not going to be able to schedule any of these teams. So the SEC is going to be basically cut off from everything. And to me, that's going to kind of, I then think, will be open up to them, just create one big giant league like the NFL.
And there'll be two conferences.
And there'll be two conferences. There'll be the West and the East, or they could split up somehow.
North and the South.
There's at some point, and this is also with this alliance, with the SEC going their way, with the alliance of college football, I'm going to call it a Pac-12, ACC, and Big Ten. You're going to basically get rid of the NCAA. That's going
that's gone. NCAA is gone.
NCAA is gone because this isn't only going to affect just football. These conferences are also going to affect when it comes to basketball, which is going to 100% affect everything. The NCAA will only matter when it comes to Division II, Division III. That's the only thing that's going to matter, which none of these teams really
They'll try and hold on to the basketball tournament.
They'll try, but they'll fail.
Well, they run it right now.
They do, but guess what?
Because they don't run the college football playoff.
No, that's the one thing everyone thinks. They don't run the college football playoff. That's run by the college football playoff. They run it.
Yeah.
That money goes only to the team. There's nothing else for the NCAA. All their money is made off of March Madness. That's all they get. If this happens, if the alliance happens, the SEC thing is already happening. The NCAA will be gone, and it'll be great I think it'll be a good thing for these sports to get rid of the NCAA.
Yeah, I hate the NCAA. It's a joke. The only thing worse than the NCAA is FIFA.
I don't know anything about. I know FIFA is like a big corrupt thing when it comes to money.
Yeah, well, just put it like this: FIFA probably killed about 3,000 people building stadiums in a desert where they're going to play soccer in the winter.
Is that in Qatar?
For a month? Yeah, and use slave labor to do it. So that's all you need to know about FIFA.
I'm not going to even try to touch that topic, but you guys can look that up if you guys want to.
Look it up. It's true.
Where is Qatar? I know it's in the Middle East, right?
Qatar is in the Middle East. It's like a tiny nation. But the reason why I say slave labor is because they get people. If you're from Qatar, you don't work. Their nation's so rich that they don't have to pay people. Yeah.
Seriously?
In Kuwait, you don't have to work. If you're so rich, they have so much money from oil, they just pay their citizens. So they get people from other countries to move in there, and then they have to work. Like you have to be sponsored into the country to work, and then you have to pay those people who sponsored you. So basically, you make no money.
This podcast took a dark turn. Oh my gosh, it is very tiny.
Yeah, it's a tiny country.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you want to go off Saudi Arabia and you just go to the right, it's really tiny. It looks kind of like it's like a little.
It's basically a peninsula I can't remember. Is it the Red Sea? Not
Persian
the Red
Gulf.
Sea.
Persian Gulf.
Yeah.
You got the United Arab Emirates, and then you got Qatar right next to it, and then Saudi Arabia is the big one.
Yeah, they're gonna play that World Cup during football season.
Why?
Because it's in the desert. They have to play it in the winter. They can't play it in the summer. It's too hot.
Oh, good point. It's like 120, right?
Yeah, it's still like it's gonna be still like 90.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was the dumbest thing. And alcohol sales are limited in that country.
Oh God. So we went from college football top 25.
Well, you were talking about corrupt.
I was talking about
things, and FIFA and NCAA are the two leaders in the clubhouse.
Yeah. So let's wrap this segment up with that we both agree that this alliance is going to happen. Here's my question: what happens to like Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, Kansas State? What happens to those teams?
I think they're going to join like the AAC or Mountain West, and they're just basically going to bake on the fact that the expanded playoffs are going to happen, and then that their league, they'll get high enough to get into a division.
Can you see the Big Ten grabbing Kansas and Oklahoma State just because of football or because of basketball?
Baylor just won a national championship in basketball.
I know, but that just happened. You want the Blue Bloods, which is Kansas. You want them.
Baylor's been good at sports too for a while. Texas Tech was just in the national championship also for basketball.
Okay, like I said this, I know it will never happen. The Pac-12 will never take them. And you and I both we both have different opinions on who the Pac-12 should take. I think the Pac-12 should try to get, I know it won't happen because of the conference doesn't want certain type of schools in there. Like that's why BYU will never.
You can't be a religious-based university.
Yeah, which is why you'll never get TCU will never be able to join.
I was doing some research about TCU, and they're trying to get away from the Christian thing.
Oh,
They've been saying they don't go by Texas Christian University anymore. They basically just go by TCU. They're basically trying to brand away from being a Christian university.
I think that if the Pac-12 expanded the team, because if they have 4 opening spots, the 4 spots I would think they'd want to take, but I don't know if it would happen, would be Oklahoma, Baylor, and Texas Tech are 3 that I think would be good for the
Oklahoma State.
No, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, and Baylor would be 3 schools to grab. And then I think you could say grab Kansas State just because they're there.
No, what Kansas State is nothing. Why would we take Kansas State? That's like rural Kansas. What does that have to do with the Pac-12?
Texas Tech, Baylor, and Oklahoma State would be a good one. And then I think you said it. Grab like a San Diego State would be a good one.
Put some money into them and get them good because they're usually good at football.
Can you say grabbing those 4 schools and making the Pac-16 before they go to the Alliance?
I would maybe even try Houston. Because they're in a huge city, and that's other than Dallas. I guess Houston is the other hotbed in Texas for recruiting. So I'd want to get Houston.
Okay.
I would probably take Houston, TCU, San Diego State.
If you do that,
and then I would even probably, if I'm going to take TCU, I would probably take BYU then also.
If you think about this, if we just talked about this, you think of the Lions, the Pac-12, if they do that,
I would never take Boise State though.
No, you literally go from the state of Washington, you go all the way down, and you're going to go around Texas, and then you're going to stop at SEC and go here, and you go to the north. You got the Big Ten going all the way here, and you got the ACC going all the way down the East Coast. The SEC is literally cut off from the rest of the football world. Which I like SEC football. But
it's not as good as everyone says it is. It's good. The top teams in the SEC are the top. Teams are the top. Like the lower teams aren't that great.
Vanderbilt,
Kansas, Missouri.
Missouri's terrible.
Tennessee isn't that good anymore. Ole Miss is sometimes is good. Mississippi State.
So we both are in agreement. We really hope that the alliance happens.
Arkansas, come on, people. Arkansas.
No. Arkansas's fan base deserves better. That's a good state. They've been pretty good. I mean, they had Run DMC there for a while. They're not bad.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're going to transition, you guys. Okay. Well, we both agree. We want the alliance to happen. I want the Pac-12 to grab those 4 schools we talked about. I'd like to see them grab Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, Baylor, and then San Diego State, I think would be the 4th one from the grab. And then you legitimately 100% just cut off SEC from Texas. The Big Ten takes away everything else up north. And then the ACC takes away everything on the East Coast. And then the SEC is stuck in the South. So that's where we both hope happens. Yeah. Okay. So thank you once again, guys, at Cowboys PD for sponsors podcasts. Thank you, Cowboys PD.
Take control of your account and make interacting with Cowboys PUD easy with SmartHub. Through SmartHub, you'll be able to view detailed usage information, make a payment, enroll in programs, set account notifications, and much more. You'll also receive important news and information about Cowboys PUD and can quickly contact us with any issues regarding your service. You'll be able to put yourself in the driver's seat of your Cowboys PUD account. Smart management, smart life, SmartHub.
All right, guys, we got 2 more segments left. We're going to talk quickly top 25 college football. The AP poll just came out, and then we'll wrap up real quickly with our favorite uniforms of all time when it's going to be any team we talk about. Okay, just real quickly, Jordan, we had the coaches poll that came out earlier, and there was only 2 or 3 Pac-12 teams on there. There is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams, so they added a few more.
Yeah, more. And people say this is the better poll.
This is the better poll. This is the one that really matters. The other one doesn't matter, but we both agree college football polls should wait until like week 4, week 5. But they do this for one reason. They want to do this so they can say, "Ooh, we have Oregon and Ohio State playing, so we got 4 versus 11 playing week 2." That's why they do it.
It's
so I'll just go through quickly. Buzz. A little change from the coaches poll. We have Alabama 1, Oklahoma 2, Clemson 3. That's the flip.
Oh.
And then
what a variety.
And then Ohio State, Georgia, top 5, only 1 change there. Texas A&M, Iowa State, Cincinnati, Notre Dame, North Carolina. Oregon comes in at 11. Cincinnati. Oregon comes in at 11. You got Wisconsin, Florida, Miami, USC at 15, LSU, Indiana, Iowa, Penn State, Washington at 20. Texas 21, Coastal Carolina 22, Louisiana Lafayette 23, Utah 24, Arizona State 25. I like this poll a lot better. This to me is nothing in this is crazy. The one top 10 team I'd say right now, the one top 10 team I can see making the biggest jump and getting up into the top 5, top 4 maybe. I love North Carolina. I love their quarterback, Sam Howell. I think they're going to be good. I think they are going to be able to give Clemson a run for their money in the ACC. I like North Carolina. They're my one sneaky team. Sam Howell's the best quarterback in college football. And when you have a quarterback like Sam Howell, anything can happen. So that's my big, I love that team. Oregon, I don't know what they're going to do. They have to figure out their quarterback. If it's Ty Thompson, it's Ty Thompson. They just got to go with a quarterback.
It's going to be Brown to start out. They're not going to. I mean, they play Fresno State first, so they're probably going to play 2 or 3 quarterbacks in that game.
I think they'll play both. They'll go Brown and Thompson will in that like you said, that first game Fresno State, they'll figure it out. And then
they'll play the other because they'll be up by 50,
USC at 15, I think USC at 15, I think is respectable. I'm not a fan of Clay Helton. I think
Clay Helton sucks. Get rid of him.
What they're going to do there?
He's holding back the whole Pac-12.
He is, and that's the thing too. Once going back from our talking about the alliance, if you're telling me you're getting USC and Ohio State, dude, I'll take those two over anybody else in the SEC any day of the week. USC and Ohio State are national brands.
Yeah, or UCLA versus Florida State.
That'd be dude, you're getting and then the other one, Pac-12, Washington at 20. Not quite sure what they have there.
I haven't been keeping up on UW. I need to look into them. They have it's all. I don't know what to make of them.
Well, I think that they're still trying to figure out what happened after Chris Peterson left. They're still trying to figure it out. Jimmy Lake's gonna do something good. I'm just not quite sure what they have yet. I mean, they're a young.
They got a good tight end.
They have the tight end, Cade Otton. He's a beast from Tumwater.
Don't they have a Heward?
Yeah, they have Brock Heward's son is there. Sam Heward. He was the number 1.
Isn't he supposed to be?
I don't know.
He's supposed to be good.
He is going to be good. Also have another shout out. Sawyer Racanelli's there from Hawkinson. He's there. He might be in the mix for a receiver position. Not sure what else they got.
Should have went to Oregon State.
Oh, no. And then their defense will be good, but we got to figure out what they're going to do offensively. Utah, I think, is a team
that's a sneaky team right there.
That's a sneaky good team. They're my pick to win the Pac-12 South, which we'll talk Pac-12 here in a little bit. By the way, going to try to get on Oregon and Oregon State writer Aaron Fentress, who I know, trying to get him on the pod, talk Oregon State and Oregon football. I'm going to try. Don't know if it's going to happen. I'm going to try. Utah's my pick to win the South. I love Utah. If they can figure out their quarterback position, dude, they are always in the mix. They're always good there. The quarterback was never there. If they can get
their lines are always so good.
Yes.
Their O&D lines are always so good. They always play great defense. Their Winningham is probably the best coach in the Pac-12.
I would say
Amber Shaw.
I would say no. I would say in order of quarterback or order of coaches in the Pac-12 when it just comes to straight coaching, Kyle Whittingham's number 1.
Yeah,
hands down.
He's a really, really good coach.
Really good coach. And then Arizona State 25.
Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, if they
might not even have a team at the end of the year.
Yeah, they can be in trouble with happening in the offseason with illegal
recruiting during COVID. And every other coach in the conference is usually they don't talk trash when a team gets caught paying a player or something. They're just you can't worry about that. But when they found out they were having kids come for COVID, they're just that's the worst thing you can do right now. You're the worst. I hope they throw the book at you guys. And then
they're also talking Antonio Pierce is not helping that program out. I guess Antonio Pierce, their defensive coordinator, former NFL player, is just a jerk when it comes to, once again, he's a football guy. Most football guys are kind of red asses, but he's one of them. They're not a big fan of that. My teams in here, my teams in the top 25, I think that can make the biggest jump in this are it's going to be weird. North Carolina at 10.
I think Utah is going to be top. Could be end of the season in the top 10. They might be. They could be the Pac-12 team to make the playoff. Because I think they host Oregon.
I'm not going to go that far, but I don't think the Pac-12 gets a team in this year. It's going to be. If you were a betting man, which we both are, I would bet it's going to be Oklahoma, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State are going to be the 4 teams in. I mean, that's That's my chose. I don't think anything else happening in here. Texas A&M could make a run at that. Texas A&M is a very good team. I just don't. They'll do something stupid along the way. Jimbo will do something dumb, or they'll lose a team they shouldn't. But last year they were pushing. Last year they were pushing to get into the college football playoff. They could have very easily been in. So who knows with Texas A&M? This is very chalky AP top 25. But which, you know what? Everyone is.
Yeah.
I think Texas is too high at 21. That's just crazy to me. I think Texas is way too high at 21. Let's see what they do this year. But
they got Sark now, though.
It's first year. They do have Shark, but we'll see.
They got the new and improved
Shark. Which, by the way, if you're a former head coach or offensive coordinator and you did something wrong, just go to Alabama.
Go to
Alabama for a year. That's where Bill O'Brien.
Water guy.
You know where Bill O'Brien is?
Oh,
he's the OC
Alabama.
for Alabama.
Oh,
how many former?
Is he going to try and trade all their players away?
Lane Kiffin, OC at Alabama, head coach at Ole Miss. Sark, OC at Alabama, head coach at Texas. Bill O'Brien is soon going to be a head coach somewhere for a major 5 program. It's going to happen. I really do. I think this team's good. Iowa State, they ended the year pretty well last year, so they could be.
They beat the brakes off of Oregon.
They did, man. They just beat the crap out of Oregon. They wasn't even like the game was close at somewhat, but
it wasn't close.
It wasn't because they just beat the hell out of Oregon last year. They
just kept giving them body blows.
Yeah, they did. So that's it. Our top 25. Nothing crazy in here. Penn State needs to have a bounce back year. They didn't finish the year pretty good. LSU at 16 is too high as well. That defense was so bad last year. I think I don't know, man. Some of these teams in here, I'm like not.
UCLA versus LSU early. I hope UCLA pull that one out.
Yeah, UCLA could pull it out. UCLA is a team probably in here that could be on here. Maybe at 25, I could see them taking out Penn State. Shouldn't be in here, and you can move UCLA in there because this is a make or break year for Chip Kelly.
Cincinnati coast with Carolina and
don't sleep. Cincinnati's good.
UA Lafayette should all be taken out. Those are just teams they put in there because they don't play anyone, and it just makes them look smart at the end of the year when there's a team with like one loss. And they're like, see, I knew Cincinnati was that good. And you're like, yeah, you looked at their schedule. Good job.
Cincinnati, number 8 Cincinnati of the American Athletic Conference is the first team outside the Power 5 to be ranked in the preseason top 10 since Louisville started 9th in 2012. That was the Cardinals' final season as a member of the HC before joining the ACC. So that's the first team since 2012 to be in the top 10. So
and they shouldn't be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just people trying to look smart.
And then this was to the defending ACC championship Bearcats are the best preseason ranking of a non-Power 5 or non-BCS conference since Boise State was number 5 to begin 2011. The Broncos were out of the Mountain West and finished that season number 8. So,
yeah,
it's going to be whatever. So that's our pick. Those are our picks who we think are going to be crazy. I like North Carolina to make a run to give Clemson a run at their money.
I like Georgia to finally get it over the top.
You think Georgia's going to finally get over the top?
Yeah, they're going to win it. That's my team.
You're going to go Georgia?
Yeah, I'm going Georgia.
Okay. So
I like Georgia.
So out of this look right here, who do you think is going to be in your Final Four? Who's going to be your Final Four?
Georgia, Alabama, because it doesn't matter what they do. They'll be in it. They'll be like, it was like raining that day, so it's not going to rain in a dome. And Ohio State and
Oklahoma.
Nope. Who did I say? Alabama, Georgia,
Ohio
Clemson.
State. You go Clemson?
Clemson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's going to be Alabama, Oklahoma, Clemson, Ohio State. I'm going to take the top 4 teams. I'm going to be really chalky on this. I think North Carolina gives Clemson a run at their money, but Clemson just has too much, and then that's just who I think. So, all right, guys,
Georgia doesn't unless if Georgia plays Alabama in the regular season, then Georgia won't be. But if Georgia doesn't, like they just meet in the final, the SEC final, then Georgia, because I feel like Georgia can only beat them once, and it depends on when they beat them.
All right, guys, we're going to take one more quick break, and we'll get back to our final of best uniforms of all time. Thank you once again to Cowboys PD for sponsoring this podcast.
Take control of your account and make interacting with Cowlitz PUD easy with SmartHub. Through SmartHub, you'll be able to view detailed usage information, make a payment, enroll in programs, set account notifications, and much more. You'll also receive important news and information about Cowlitz PUD and can quickly contact us with any issues regarding your service. You'll be able to put yourself in the driver's seat of your Cowlitz PUD account. Smart management, smart life, SmartHub.
All right, and we're back. Thank you again to Cowlitz PUD for sponsoring this podcast. Okay, last thing we're talking about is the greatest uniform or the best uniforms we think of all time. All right, I have a few in mind. My number one, do you know what I'm going to go with?
Football?
It is football. It's in the NFL.
Chargers.
Chargers powder blue uniforms are hands down. When they go with their white helmet, yellow face mask,
with the number, powder blue, and the yellow pants, hands down the best looking uniform of all time. You can't disagree. It's a good uniform. No one's like, dude, what are you doing there? Everyone's like, and it's so like, I can only think of like one other team in the world that there's probably more, but there's a team in England that has similar colors. But yeah, that's a really cool combo.
It is a cool combo.
I like those.
I love it.
I'm going with a football team, which I think is the greatest. I'll just say helmet of all time.
Hang on. Are you going with the Bengals?
No, this is college.
Oh, college. Okay. Greatest helmet of all time?
Yeah.
What conference?
Big Ten.
Michigan?
Yes. That's such a cool helmet. Wing.
What about that? Well, we're not going helmets. You're going uniforms.
But those standard, like the blue helmet, blue jersey.
They wear now, not the Adidas versions, the ones they wear now, the Jordan versions.
And then the yellow pants. That's a really good uniform combination for me.
I do like that Michigan uniform. It is, I think when they went to Jordan brand, by the way, Adidas 100% screwed them over. They were so ugly when they went with that. I do agree.
At least they weren't Under Armour.
At least they weren't Under Armour. You're correct on that one. I'm looking at them right now. The winged helmet is just iconic. You're right. When you have that maize and blue, and it's
the best helmet. You can't beat it.
We'll rank our helmets in a little. We'll rank our helmets coming up here pretty soon. But yeah, you're right. Those, Jordan, you are correct. That uniform is just so iconic, and there's nothing to it. It's literally
it's like they just picked really good colors.
They did. They knocked it out of the park. Adidas screwed them. I like when they went to Under Armour. When they went to Jordan brand. Jordan, who's also Nike, did a really good job of that. Yeah, these are great. I do like these uniforms. These are good ones. A good choice. All right. My second favorite uniform of all time is a NBA team.
I don't know. Blazers?
Nope.
I don't know.
They're in the East. They're in the East Coast.
Knicks?
Nope. Up north a little bit.
Boston?
Yes. I love the Boston Celtics uniforms. I think, once again, we're going very, very basic uniforms here. I love the Celtics uniforms. I just think that they're very classy. I think they portray class. It has never changed ever. It's the same uniform they've always had. It's never.
Yeah, they just add like little, like they have like the black uniform now.
Yeah, but they also they'll add the clover like on the shorts.
Yeah,
they're classic. They're right to it. They're easy to it. I love them. I think those are my favorite uniforms, or uniforms that just show they're just classic and basic and don't have anything to them. I love the Boston Celtics uniforms. I think they look they're good. I love them. I also love that green and white combo too.
Yeah. I know this is a home pick, but it gets picked a lot. The Blazers have probably some of the best uniforms.
With the thing that goes
to the sash.
The sash and goes down the pant. They do.
They get picked like for the best logo too, because if you don't know, it's actually an abstract of 5-on-5 basketball because there's 5 lines. Did you know that?
I did not know that. Look at you.
It's an abstract drawing of 5-on-5 basketball is what the Trailblazers symbol. People think it's the P and the B. It was that too, but it's also that's what the original thing is.
Oh, see, look at that.
So if you see those 5 stripes, but that's what that's for. But that's a pretty cool. Even just the symbol, like if you wear it, it doesn't look like a thing. Did you know like the NBA, like now new teams have to have like a basketball in their logo?
No.
Yes. Look it up. It's a rule. You have to have like one logo with a basketball in it.
That's so stupid.
And I was reading an article about college uniforms. They're going back to like more classic uniforms, not outrageous anymore. Nike said they're going to be more classic uniforms.
Yeah, I was going to say, okay, I'm going to go another uniform I really like, and you might hate me on this one, but I think even you can admit that it's good. When Oregon went,
nope,
just wait.
They're all bad. They're all bad.
See, he just as Jordan is a giant Oregon State, like
they're all terrible.
And so he'll never.
You're gonna go with the built for tough or the diamond plating on their shoulders?
Those are terrible. I'm not going that way. I'm not going that way.
Like when they go classic.
When they go classic Oregon looks, those are the ones that I like.
Yeah,
when Mariota,
those are everyone's favorite, but then when they pull out some like garbage like pink uniform, people are like, "Oh, the kids love that."
No,
do kids love that? Do your kids wear pink?
They did
for breast cancer.
They did for a while. Like that was a big thing to do it for a while. But then they stopped.
Tell them it's lame.
They stopped doing it. So okay. So listen. So these are the ones that I think I like the most. I like the wings, the helmets that have the wings on it that aren't like the crazy colors. Like when they went back to more their original color scheme. My favorite one they wear is when they wear that apple green helmet, apple green jersey, and the apple green pants, and just the normal colors. That one I like, and it can be either with the wings or with the O. Those ones I like a lot. I was never a giant fan of like the chrome. You can see the wings on it. I wasn't a fan of those. I liked when they go to their normal colors, their green and yellow colors. Those are the ones that I like the most. Those are those ones. I know you're not a big Oregon fan, but you have to admit those do look good.
No, they don't. They look terrible.
He won't do it.
They're terrible uniforms. They're just a bad company.
Yeah, just like Oregon State for a while wore a freaking a sports bra for their uniforms.
Yeah, and now teams are wearing them now.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they wear actual sports bras now to track their speeds, called catapult system.
I'm talking.
They were just ahead of their time.
I'm talking about the uniform that looked like they were wearing a sports bra. You know what I'm talking about?
And then they only won it for 1 year, and they beat Oregon at Oregon.
How about their woodchuck of a logo?
Oh, their new one? I hate it. That's supposed to be an axe. It's supposed to look like an axe head too. If you look at it,
it doesn't look like an axe head. Like
it chops wood.
The one, the one
old Benny.
The one Oregon State uniform I do like, Jordan. I do like their white helmets with their orange uniform and white pants. I do like that look. I think that looks good.
Yeah, the best they ever had was in like 2010. They came out with like a Giant Killers uniform.
Yeah, I'm looking at that one right now. Yeah,
that was the best uniform they ever had. And they only wore it once.
I like that. That's cool. That is a good one. Another uniform I really like is when it comes to college football, I really like Oklahoma's uniforms. Once again, simplicity. Oklahoma and Alabama, to me, kind of both have very good uniforms. They're basic to the point. They're never going to change. And Oklahoma has these like alternate versions of uniforms. I'm not a fan of those ones I'm talking about.
Yeah. You know who also is a classic is USC. They'll never change.
They'll never change that.
I don't think they've ever wore anything other than their stand. They've never had like a blackout uniform.
They haven't. They never have. Let's see. Another one in college football, Ohio State's classic one, their basic one.
I don't know. That one's kind of lame.
You're not a fan? Iowa's never changed theirs either. Iowa and their helmet.
Yeah, but they don't know how to put stickers on their helmets.
I don't know why that's there.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Either one knows what I'm talking about. There's a random sticker on top of their helmet, which makes no sense whatsoever.
You know what the worst helmet was, though? It's probably that freaking Jaguar multicolored helmet.
Oh, that one was so bad. That was the worst. It was like a poop brown and black. It made no sense.
Yeah.
By the way, worst uniforms ever. Everyone's in now. I'm going to say this, and you guys are going to hear it, and you're going to be like, yep, this makes a lot of sense. The Dallas Cowboys have 3 different colors of blue on their uniform.
Yes. their pants aren't silver. They're like aqua marine.
They're aquamarine. They have navy blue and they have royal blue.
Have royal blue. Yeah, they
Their
have
best
three.
uniform. Their best uniform is when they go with the navy blue, the gray,
the Thanksgiving uniform.
Yes, that's their best uniform. By the way, speaking of the Cowboys, why the hell do they always wear white? They only ever wear white. I hate it.
Because it's a brand thing. You have to make them wear another color.
Which, by the way, when I play Madden, I make them wear their home colors. Like when I play Madden football, I make them wear their colors. It's
they always wear white at home because the home team gets to pick the uniform.
So ugly.
And then on the road, they wear white. So you have to like wear white at home for them to wear.
One reason I hate the Cowboys is because when you look at their pants and you look like there's 3 colors of blue in their uniform.
You guys, once you look at this again, you'll look at their pants and be like,
you'll like, this makes sense. It's aquamarine. Yeah. They're the worst uniforms. The best uniforms in the NFL though are the Chargers powder blue. Second, I would probably say I like the Bears uniforms as well.
Mm-hmm.
Bears is a very good one.
Steelers, I like the Steelers.
Steelers is a good one too. I like their Steelers when they wear the all black with just a yellow on it.
Yeah.
Good one. I like that uniform. I do not like the Seahawks uniforms now.
No, I don't. I don't hate them, but I tolerate them.
Yeah.
I wish they would go back
to their old colors, but
not the ones before, but the ones before
the silver with the royal blue. Like
yes,
like you go to modern style, like what?
Yes, just make them make it modern.
I don't hate I don't hate the Raiders uniforms. The worst ones are the Cowboys. I hate the Arizona Cardinals uniforms. Those ones are terrible.
I hate the Rams ones right now.
Those are so nice. I like the Rams uniforms.
Rams.
I like that color combo.
Bone white crap.
I don't like the white ones. I like their home ones. Their home one. I like
ugly.
that. That's my favorite color combo. Is that royal blue and yellow is my favorite color combo. Let's see. Another one I don't like in the NFL. I hate the Cowboys. I hate the Cardinals. I also am not a giant fan of the Miami's uniforms. I don't like that color combo, Miami. I know it's classic. I'm just not a fan of it.
I hate the Titans' new uniforms.
Yeah, can they go back to this? Can they just go back to the Oiler colors and swear Oilers change to the Titans? The Oilers had some sick uniforms. That powder blue.
I used to like the Browns.
Their new ones are pretty good now.
Not the ones where they had like orange.
No. They're different. They got new ones this year. They went back
like that, and they had like 7 different shades behind the number.
Yeah, the Browns went back to their roots now. So they went back to their old uniforms. So if you Google it, their new uniforms now are just basically the 80s. They're like from the 80s.
Okay, it's way better.
Yeah, so it's way better. I do like the Browns all brown uniforms with the orange. I do like that.
What about baseball uniforms?
Oh, those ones are so good. I love the Cardinals uniforms. I think the Cardinals have a very classic one. The Cubs. I hate the Yankee pinstripes. I just hate the Yankees.
I hate the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, they've changed way too many times. They've changed way too many times. I love the Mariners Sunday uniforms. When they go with the Royal, right there. That one. Who else is a good one? Giants have a good one. There's a lot of good
Giants. I love the Giants. That's my second team. That's Kelly's favorite team.
Kelly's team, whatever. We're both Mariner fans, which by the way, Mariners are just killing me right now. But yeah, let's go. We only like 2 minutes left. So baseball has so many ones. There's too many to choose from. But if I had to choose my favorite, the best ones, I'd go with probably Giants, Cardinals. Those ones are 2 of my favorite ones. Can you think of anything else? Giants, Cardinals. The baseball ones are hard to screw up.
I kind of like the Blue Jays.
Oh, they're blue ones?
Light blues. Light blue.
I like the Cardinals powder blue ones too. Those ones are old and kind of cool. I like how Nike's kind of done that. They've gone back to the old ones, giving back the old ones. Those are pretty cool.
All right, Giants are probably my favorite.
Giants are good ones. All right, we can dive deep more into this favorite uniforms. But once again, guys, thank you very much for tuning into the pod. Thank you to Cowboys PUD for sponsoring this episode, and we will see you guys later.
See you guys. Have a nice day.
That was weird to say at the end there, Jordan. Have a nice day. Like, who are you? Like, you Mr. Rogers over here?
Have a nice day.
All right, have a nice day, guys. All right. Bye, guys.